Why does our public transport often operate in such an uncoordinated manner? Why are our footpaths always in such an abysmal state? And why are cycle paths and cycle lanes nearly non-existent in our towns and cities? You may have several reasons for these questions, but for me, the underlying reason is lack of governance. What do I mean by that? And essentially, what exactly do we mean by governance? So, for me, it's a set of interactions, constructive interactions between stakeholders that are facilitated by good processes, laws, and that's held in a civil manner. And this is not an one-off thing; it's a continuous process wherein it's ingrained in the society to debate policies and make sure its implementation on ground is as intended. So, such a thing doesn't unfortunately happen in public transport today. Why is it so? For me, I have been in this sector for almost 3 decades. And specifically in India, I think public transport has suffered from what I call as a policy confusion and unprofessional resources managing the affairs of public transport with a sense of entitlement and the erosion of institutional capacity over time due to lack of timely investments. So this is a sorry state we are, wherein good governance in public transport is nearly at the bottommost position. So how do we start rebuilding this? The foundation for good governance is always cannot just emerge out of vacuum. It emerges from societal conversations with the businesses and government. And luckily for us in Karnataka, we are in the midst of such a conversation. These conversations over the last 1 year has led to two legislations which are awaiting passage in the assembly. Firstly, it's the PMLTA bill, which will bring in coordination to public transport and coherence to land use policies in Bengaluru. Second is what I call as a more profound and perhaps more uh, profound in its impact in the longer term. It's called the Active Mobility Bill. The scope of this bill is for the entire state of Karnataka, and it will bring in accountability and good standards to the building and maintenance of footpaths, cycle paths, and importantly, people-oriented streets. So these two legislations, we are very hopeful will get passed in the assembly soon. But now comes the interesting question. Does passing this bill itself bring in good governance? No. Basically, as a society, we need to be very, very vigilant. And for me, good citizenship is the precondition for making sure there is good governance in our policies. So we need that constructive and robust debates on public transport issues held in polite, civil, but firm manner so that good governance in the affairs of public transport prevails. So my simple message to all of you is please stay alert and speak up on the need for good public transport. It does not happen if you remain silent. It's our right. And given the climate change crisis which we as a society face, public transport is absolutely vital. In fact, it is one of the vital cog in how we achieve our carbon emission goals. So, with that, I want you to basically stay vigilant in the implementation of this legislation and strongly articulate at every available forum on the need for good public transport. So, wish you all happy New Year and stay safe. And hopefully, we will see some good movements in public transport in Karnataka in the coming years. Thank you.